So the first of these three walkers I'm going to shoot will be the Colt second generation version, and I guess that's because that's the first one of those that I've owned. And components, we're going to use the 451 Lee cast round ball that I got some worked up here, and we're going to use our own home mix lube, which I think I got a video out there someplace on what I put in that stuff. We're going to use that lube on the end of the chambers. We will use our mini grease gun to make sure it gets down in there on top of the ball. I don't care, just to have the top covered. That sometimes most of it blows off there, so I want to get down in where the ball is. And we're going to use either Remington number 10s or CCI number 10s. The Colt second generations, a lot of them that I have shot, needed a slightly smaller cap, and the CCI is, even though they're number 10s, they're a tad smaller than the Remington number 10s. So I may be able to get by and want to use these things and be able to save on, well, not saving the Remingtons, but both of these are hard to get right now. And speaking of hard to get right now, we're going to use our black MZ powder. We're getting low on our GoX, and that's kind of the reason that we're going to use our black MC. I'll be shooting somewhere around 35 grains, I'm going to guess, and I'll get more into that when I actually load it up. We put 2.5 cc's of the black MZ in there, and there's probably about 5/8 of an inch, good 5/8 of an inch left here. We could put more, but I think that'll be a comfortable load. I don't know how many grains for sure that is. We can check that out later, but it's a 2.5 cc's of that black MZ in there. We're just getting started. We had to make a change because it was just too sloppy on that press that I've got over here for loading things. Didn't like the way that was going down, so we're switching to actually using the ramrod here. Not the ramrod, but the loading lever here to load this gun. And second change that we've made is that, or going to make, is that black MZ, that 2.5 dipper, is not quite enough to really get what I would say is a little compression on the powder. So I'm going to go with maybe a 2. I think the next step up is a 2.8. And then the third thing that we got to work with is that 451 Lee round ball is just a tad small for this Colt here, so we're going to go with a 454 on the next loading. Okay, let's get this one capped up. Well, first of all, get some lube on our chamber ends here, and then cap this thing up and get our first 6 put in the target. So here's our fourth change in plans. The number 10 CCI is too small. I knew these nipples look pretty good size here. I guess in Texas that's the way they run. So number 10 CCI's way too small. Number 10 Remington's too small. Had some number 11 CCI's. Those are too small. And the number 11 Remingtons, which are the biggest of the bunch, I can just get those on, and that will clear the frame barely, and hopefully that 2-ton hammer fall of the Walker will set those off. So we're going to go with our number 11 Remingtons. We've got a few of those, so let's use them up. I have no idea whether or not this will be on the paper or not. High, low, left, right. Well, that worked out okay. Not much recoil on this heavy gun. We got a speed of 561. Let's shut our cameras off and see if it's on the paper down there. Well, I couldn't tell if it was high, low, left, or right. I'm going to shoot this second shot at the bottom of the paper. 642. We'll fire a few more down there. Okay, she's clear. And that was 626. Well, looking at that first target, I don't know, I'm pretty impressed considering the sights on this gun. If you shot these black powder guns, you kind of get some idea what those things are like. On my first shot, I was centering on the black, and I think it was above the target. Didn't pick up on that one. So then I moved down to right here, and that's not a real good aiming spot, I guess. Kind of hard to get a visual on that. But 5 shots right up in here. I suppose maybe I got about a 2-inch group if I count this one. Otherwise, maybe 1.5 on these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's respectable, considering I got about a quarter inch creep on that trigger. It's not a real heavy pull, but I have to work with that. So, all right, we're going to load up a second string. We're going to put another 3/10 of a cc of the black MZ in this one. Give us a little more powder. I'm expecting to have some higher speeds, even if I didn't go up on the. All right, bug it out of there. Even if I didn't go up on the powder charge, because that's that falling of the cylinder initially. You get a higher speeds, maybe by 100 feet per second on that second cylinder. So we're going to expect that, and we will go up 3/10 of a grain, not 3/10 of a grain, but 3/10 of a cc on that black MZ. Okay, some observations here. I'm shoving those caps on with a clothespin, a little bit of a wooden clothespin, just to kind of tighten them up a little bit. I still don't think they're going to go off on the first pop. They're actually splitting out a little bit as they go on there, and if I was going to make any modifications, I'd have to take those nipples out, take them to the drill press or the lathe or something, and get those things a little bit smaller. Second thing, on that front sight, you know, that definitely is not working out well for shooting 10 inches high at that distance. So that would have to get changed too. But of course, on this second generation Colt Walker here, we're not going to really make those modifications. I am shooting, I think it was a 2.8 cc's, went up 3/10 of a cc this time. Still plenty of room in there. That did start to compress a little bit. I'm sticking with a 451 Lee cast round ball and not putting the spruce up on those things. I got enough lube in the chambers, I think, to protect myself from chain fires, and they weren't walking up in the cylinder at all. Last time, at least, I didn't get locked up on the cylinder turning around. So we're gonna stick with those basically because we had a really decent group going. Now I'm not gonna say I said that too loud, of course, but we did change on the target down there. We'll see that when we get our camera on it. We put a dot lower, so we should be able to get towards the center of the paper and maybe have a little better aiming point. So with that said, let's get to shooting it. .803 at 561 last time, first shot, and that's not all due to that 3/10 of a cc. That's due to the fouled chamber, which gives us a higher speed on the second cylinders. And that one went like it should. We're looking at our second target. This is the 9 mark on a ruler. It's just about wore out. That's why I'm shooting down here. So I'm 9 inches above point aim, 21 yards. About 1.75 inches for 6 shots. We're doing well, I think, considering the trigger pull and sights on that gun. I think it's right on the. No signs of any flyers, nothing. It's shooting well. Anyway, that's the way this thing is shooting, and so far on 2 targets, really good. So I'll load up one more. I see I stuck with the, this is incorrect up here, so I'm going to trace that out right now. I stuck with a 451 Lee round ball because I had a decent group. I didn't see any reason for changing it. They go down really easy, and I'm using enough lube on the end of those chambers to prevent any chain fire. If a flash does go by the ball, if it's a little loose fitting, doesn't shave off a ring of lead. So I'm happy with the way that's shooting. I gotta say, I'm not real fond of this capping situation because these things are too small, so I'm pushing them on, starting them at least, and then having to use a clothespin like this to finish the job. But if this thing goes off, that ball is going to splat right into that wedge, and I don't care much for that idea. Work that on a little bit. I did like it when they were actually going off. I didn't have to double hit them. That was kind of a nice thing. But to do that, we got to kind of shove them on a little harder than I care to do. If this thing goes off on camera. So I don't care much for this at all. Number 12 is what I need. Here's that third string, third target that we shot. Well, my first two shots, I thought, well, that's really going pretty sweet. Then things widened out a bit here. You know, I'm not sure. I mean, this isn't much of a distance off to be trying to center that front sight and a little bitty notch on the back of the hammer. I can't get my lighting left and right, so I can't say if these are flyers up here. I kind of think they are not. I think they're my sighting situation. So, but you know, we probably got about a 4-inch group here going on. See if I'm ambitious enough, I'll shoot one more string, because if the thing is starting to fall in the barrel and we're getting flyers for some reason, this 1 in 66 twist isn't quite cutting it, isn't giving them enough rotational speed to stabilize. Maybe that'll show up on our fourth target, maybe not. So I think we will shoot one more just for that reason. The gun's dirty, needs to be cleaned up anyway, so you know, let's get to it. Well, if I had to deal with these kind of caps all the time, I think I might actually go to cartridge guns or something. They're just not fun. I'm going to let the hammer do the work on shoving these on the rest of the way. The problem there, I got to shoot 12 times, maybe 12. A lot of work for nothing there. I think this one might go. Oh. There we go. Around. Here's our Colt second generation Walker. We got him all cleaned up and took her all apart in here, oiled up everything. Did the job on that. First target, 5 shots up in here. Of course, our point of aim is down here about 2 inches below the target. So we're shooting, oh well, 8 to 10 inches high. But 5 shots up here, the first one went high of the target. Second target, six shots. I think I got a double up in here someplace. 6 shots, 1 3/4 inch group. Can't get any better than that with the sights and trigger pull on that gun. Third target, things widen up a bit, but still, you know, reasonable, respectable for that 21-yard distance. And fourth target is similar. Notice we're always shooting here a couple 2 to so inches above the black, even though we're aiming 2 inches below the edge of the paper down here. So anyway, now it's time to get this Colt here back in its box, and we're going to look at shooting our next Walker, which I'm thinking pretty much is going to be that newer one. It's about 2 years old. It's got the 1 in 16 twist.